Good evening, Kendall Berkey, Deputy City Attorney and Deputy General Counsel for the Redevelopment Agency. There is, as part of the project, part of the phase one of the project, the entitlements involve a coastal development permit. The Port District had voted on and issued a CDP, a coastal development permit, on July 7th. 7 people filed a notice of appeal to the Coastal Commission. That in and of itself doesn't prevent you from taking action tonight. What that does prevent is for the agency to actually begin to develop the phase 1A, which is item number, redevelopment agency item number 6 and council item 334. However, it doesn't prevent you from taking action on the First Amendment to the Joint Powers Authority Agreement, and it doesn't prevent you from actually taking action to authorize to request to go to bid for the phase 1A improvements, and also to make the findings required under redevelopment law.
But just to ask some clarification, isn't the normal process where we either approve a project here, we can grant a coastal permit in-house unless it's appealed or unless it requires so many deviations that it has to go to the Coastal Commission for LCP amendment? How can it be that a decision at the coastal happens before we even approve a project at the local level?
To clarify, the coastal development permit in this particular instance is one within the port's jurisdiction, not the City of San Diego. So the City of San Diego doesn't need to take any action on a coastal development permit. It is the port's jurisdiction. And so that is what has taken place. The port has voted and approved a CDP for phase 1.
Why is this here before us today?
This is here today. There's 3 items on the agenda. One is to consider a First Amendment to the Joint Exercise Powers Agreement for the Joint Powers Authority between the city, the agency, and the port. And that specifically is just a plan of funding for implementing phase 1 of the North Embarcadero Visionary Plan.
So that's the structure of this process, which
that's a structure
is somewhat irrelevant to the actual
CDP
project.
It is. It's kind of just the global sort of, this is our strategic plan and this is what we're agreeing to among 3 bodies. But it's not an implementation of those plans.
It's only relevant in that this structure was created to create this plan and move it forward.
Correct. The second item, which is also on the agenda, and that's redevelopment agency number 6 and council item number 334. That is an implementing action.
Because that's a budget action.
It's a budget act. Well, that's redevelopment agency number 4 is a budget action.
But that's how it's related.
Right. It's all related. And but the phase 1A is an implementation of the plan that is part of the First Amendment to the JPA, which is on your agenda. So you don't need to have a coastal development permit issued in order to take the action. What it does delay is actually the agency entering into a construction contract and having someone go put a shovel in the ground to fulfill the phase 1A improvements. Until the
litigation is resolved, if it is resolved.
Right. There's an appeal, and what will happen is the Coastal Commission, California Coastal Commission, will review whether or not the appeals raise a substantial issue on whether the coastal development permit is consistent with the port master plan. And if there is a substantial issue, then they will have a de novo review on whether or not, if in fact there was a consistency finding. But that doesn't prevent the agency or the council taking any action.
And if they do have a de novo review and they make modifications to the project, and we already proved it at the city level, we would have to bring back our approval to make the modifications to the coastal.
Yeah, if there was changes to the underlying CDP, would come back to you and you would take action. But the port is the lead agency for this project, not the redevelopment agency, and not the City of San Diego.
If this project was approved today by the council, would that give you the ability to advocate for the project at the coastal level? in other words, not necessarily advocate, but if usually when something is approved at the city level, the city attorney goes to the coastal to inform coastal commissioners about the decisions that were made and try to seek an approval at the coastal level. That's been the normal process.
Well, the CCDC, just as a point of reference, CCDC is a co-applicant of the coastal development permit with the port. So they are the CCDC, and via the agency, and that, for that matter, is an interested party on that appeal.
Okay, we'll go to council member questions and comment at this time.